We have snow! Ha ha! Yes! Yes, we have snow, and you know what that means? It means I have to go camping. I'm thinking canvas hot tent rendezvous camp. The high's only like 15, so don't let it fool you. It's cold out here. First thing I'm gonna do is get the new stovepipe jack put in place so that we can get some heat going in there and thaw the ground out in the tent, because it's gonna be a sloppy mess in there. So the faster I can get it drying out, the better. Just as I've said before, nothing can be easy. Everything in life has to be hard. I'm going to spend my entire afternoon just trying to tack this stupid thing on and burn all my daylight. Today was the first time I realized in my life that I've ever sewed anything. And after many choice words, I was able to get this thing on here. But now I'm presented with the next problem, because nothing in life can go as planned or be easy. You're supposed to have 4 inches of clearance between the stovepipe and any tent material. The problem I'm running into is the slope is so great on this tent that this is not long enough to give me 4 inches of safety between my stovepipe and the tent walls. Now, in order to achieve that, the problem is down here. The tent is too close to the stovepipe down here, but there's no way to compensate for that, because this thing, the stove jack, is just not big enough. It's meant for a more flat surface and probably smaller stovepipes, and this was the largest ones I could find. So what I'm going to do to achieve that is, for tonight, is put something against this wall to hold the wall out and hopefully get some clearance between my stovepipe and my tent. Otherwise, I'm not going to sleep in this thing because I don't want to die in a fire. And in order to do it right next time, I'm going to try to get some of this fiberglass material and get a huge long piece and do, like, I'm not kidding you, like 3 or 4 feet of the tent in that material. And then we'll be golden. We'll see if we can make her tonight. Today's step 2 is a Santa Claus hauler. Great Christmas holiday brew. As you can see behind me, I've got the stove going, and I actually was able to rig the stovepipe up so that everything is done in a relatively safe way. So the next step is I need to get some poles and try to make a cot out of the cot that I have. Some of you may recognize that I have not had a four-wheeler in my episodes up until now. And that's because we've actually had this four-wheeler for quite some time, and we had a lot of trouble with it not running right, so we actually took it and had the carburetor redone, and now it seems to be running okay. So got the four-wheeler, got the snow plow. This is just really nice to have. I was able to plow all my trails to my campsites and everything with this, and I'm able to bring supplies back. That's wonderful. I wouldn't be able to do that in the white van with any snow on the ground. So we're still going to do some backpacking only trips, but since this is a hot tent camping kind of thing, obviously you have to bring quite a few supplies. So we're using this bad boy. So here's the idea that I have. The Hutchins roll is bigger than the cot. And so in order to make the Hutchins roll tight across the top, I'm going to put 2 poles down each side of the Hutchins roll, fold them underneath, and tie them tight together to try to pull it tight. I don't know if this is going to work, so I'm going to have to try it. I'm starting to get hopeful here. Hopefully it's not too early. But as you can see, I got my poles in, and I've got it stretched across the cot frame. And now, in order to keep it tight when I lay on it, I'm just going to simply tie the 2 poles together tight. Is it going to work? I don't know. I don't see why I wouldn't, but I usually find out that even when I don't see why things won't work, I find out for some reason they won't work. It's kind of the story of my life, really. I'm just going to make tons of passes here because I want this bed nice and tight. I want it to be good and tight when I lay on it. So, and this. Heck, I might even keep it on the spool and just go get my other spool for the back end. Sweet. Moment of truth. Oh my God, it's holding me. You know, I feel like we've had a lot of these, oh my God, it's holding me moments on In the Bush. This thing's holding me. Oh, this is risky business, but I'm gonna try it. Oh, phew. Yep, it will hold me. Feels like I'm going downhill. It's gonna fall. This always scares me. This is always terrifying to see if things will hold my weight. Let's see what happens. I don't have much faith in these old springs. Oh, they're gonna hold me just fine. I'm bottoming out on something, but that's a good thing. It's time to test out the Hutchins roll. See if it'll hold my fat butt. The beds at this hotel are awful lumpy. So real quick, I'll show you what I did here. The pipe for this stove is, each section is a little bit smaller than the next, going up, biggest on top. So I actually was able to use one of the sections and slide it down over the other pipe, so I have like a double-walled pipe now going through my hole. Then I took the other section that was left over and I used it to just to hold back the canvas a little bit. So I'd say we're pretty safe now, hopefully. I will still have a fire extinguisher and a smoke alarm in here like I always do. All right, well, I'm starving, so it's time to get some food going. As kind of an ode to last time I was here in the hot tent, I made the spaghetti. Check out that episode. It's called Spaghetti in a Snowstorm. Wasn't much of a snowstorm. It only snowed about an inch that night, but anyhow. As an ode to that, I decided to do a pasta dish. So we're going to have raviolis, and I've got 2 different sauces that we're going to whip up. So got some snow in this pan, and we're going to melt that down to boil the pasta. One thing that's great as a camper, a bushcrafter, a survivalist, when there's snow on the ground, there's an endless supply of water. Check this out. My aunt made me this tool pouch out of canvas for Christmas. And inside here I have my knife, my fork spoon combination, my saw, my smaller gomboy, and toothbrush, toothpaste, and what just fell down was Q-tips. So it's kind of a little care package here for cooking and for cleaning up at the end of the day. So without further ado, let's get some grub going here. Got 2 different flavors to enjoy here. Got the vodka and got the kale pesto. I'm trying the vodka right now with the kielbasa sliced up in the sauce. This doesn't suck. Oh man, that was absolutely delicious. Boy, you can cook some good meals in a tent. I'm living proof. So I'm sure you're all wondering which one was better. Drum roll, please. The vodka sauce wins. It was the clear winner. They're both really good, but the vodka sauce with the kielbasa sliced up in it. I'm gonna kick back and chill out for a little bit and then hit the hay. Hitting this cot that I have improvised here. Try it out for the night and see how it works. I've learned several things today. I learned, first of all, that people who sew, I have a lot more respect for. It is definitely a talent. It is definitely a skill. And so people that can sew, that's a great skill to know. And if you're a survivalist, I really think, whether you're a bushcrafter, survivalist, or same thing, you should have at least some proficiency in basic sewing. Obviously, when you're out in the bush, you might have to sew something up, you know. And today I learned when you're hot tent camping and the ground is frozen or the ground was covered in snow, I need to bring some sort of cardboard or plastic to put down to keep the mud down, because I have a giant mud pit going on here. One other thing that I learned is, for the first time in the bush, for the first time, I realized today that less is more. That sounds silly, I know, because I have a lamp behind me. Who does this? But I learned for the first time today that there are certain things that I brought too much. I brought things that I didn't need. And there are things that I have that are good for more than one use. So that was a big learning thing today. So I'm going to be hitting the cot a little bit early tonight, because I'm going to try to get up at a decent time tomorrow and return the wood stove to the cabin and some other supplies that I stole from the cabin. And the reason being is, tomorrow I'm celebrating Christmas with Little Shooter. Now here's the deal. Christmas has already happened. It is January. But we decided, Kristen and I had Christmas with our families and with everybody on Christmas. And then we decided to wait until we got a snow to actually celebrate Christmas at the cabin. Like our little Christmas where we exchange gifts and cards and stuff. So we're going to cook a Christmas dinner tomorrow night, and I'm going to make a little video for it, but it's going to be a little untraditional. It's just going to be us enjoying the cabin and Christmas dinner with a little music behind it. So, you know, it was so warm in December. It was like almost 70 degrees on Christmas Day. I've just really been having a hard time getting into the spirit of things until this snow fell. And up until then, I've been kind of an Ebenezer Scrooge, kind of a bah humbug thing going on. I didn't even put up Christmas tree until like December 15th or 17th or something. But anyway, the Christmas tree's still up at the cabin, and it ain't coming down until after tomorrow when we celebrate Christmas, Little Shooter and I. So I'm gonna relax here in the tent here and call it an early night. Well, I'm gonna turn in. Hopefully this bedroll's been against the wall of this tent all night, so it's cold. But it's gonna warm up nicely, I can see. Well, time to hit the hay. Oh, trying to get out of this bah humbug mood I'm in, because tomorrow I gotta be all Christmassy. I'm looking forward to it. Good night.
Nathan!
Hello?
Nathan!
Is someone there?
I am the ghost of Bush Past. You will come with me. You will come with me.
Oh my God.
And I will show you. You have spent an entire year not learning your knots. You always put it off and said you would learn, but you never did.
Lessons learned today. I'm learning that I really need to study up on lashing. So that's coming soon. I've been avoiding knots for a while now. Every once in a while my square knots are grannies, but that's okay. Once in a while you gotta tie a granny. I'm proud of myself. That was the first experience I've really had lashing anything. We did a little bit in Boy Scouts, but I never paid attention. So I just tried to use common sense. I don't know what I'm doing. I have yet to bite off the whole knot thing. You don't know how to tie knots? Tie lots.
You spent the entire year with all the supplies you needed in your van. You rarely ever backpacked. You rarely ever were limited on supplies. You never learned true survival. You must change your ways. You must learn to truly survive.
That was a strange dream.
Ha 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 ha, Nathan.
Hello?
I am the ghost of Bush present.
Oh, not again.
Ha 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 ha, you will come with me.
I don't like these dreams.
I will show you.
I'll go with you. I went with the last ghost. Let's go.
You have had all this time, Nathan, to learn about knots, edibles, hunting, gardening. And what have you done? What have you done? Nothing. You've only camped. Spring will be upon us before you know it. And what have you done to prepare? Have you prepared your gardening? Have you prepared your wild edible knowledge? Ha ha ha, you have done nothing. You have done nothing.
I hope these strange dreams are about over.
Nathan, Nathan, I am the ghost of Bush Future. Come with me, and I will show you.
Well, I went with the last two, so I guess I'll go with you.
Here is what happens if you don't step it up, if you don't learn your knots, learn more survival skills. You must learn to do more than camp.
If I'd have just learned my knots, I wouldn't be out here freezing to death.
If you don't, you will end up like this poor schmuck. Freezing, dying, out in the cold, starving, sick, and alone.
Dying in the cold. 'Cause I didn't learn my knots.
So what say you, Nathan? Step it up a notch. And by the way, thanks for the cottage cheese.
Wait a minute. Cottage cheese? Wood stove coffee time. So I had the weirdest dream last night. Man, it reminded me of like a Christmas movie or something. But I learned something from my dream. I gotta kick this up. I gotta kick this to the next level. Going out in the woods and having fun is one thing, but being able to survive and actually learning some really valuable skills is another. I've been learning at a slow pace, but it's time for the metal to meet the road, or whatever they say, rubber to meet the road. I gotta kick it up a notch here. I gotta start doing some some things. My dream really a wake-up call. I don't want to end up like that future Nathan that I saw in my dream. Well, luckily it was only a dream, and I still have time to put myself on the correct path. Well, that pretty much concludes our camp out. I learned a lot, and my dream kind of scared me straight. I'm going to start kicking it up a notch. So anyway, I got to get some things back to the cabin and get things picked up at the house and everything, because Kristen and I are celebrating Christmas dinner today. So, as always, I will see you next time in the bush. Thank God that was just a dream. Whew. What's this cottage cheese?